Okay, I made a playlist on this YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi. I'm Tanis Leonhardi. Full name, at least currently, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. She, her, hers of Seattle. And I'm filming this Thursday, 21 March 2024. And I made a playlist on this YouTube channel entitled Moving Streamlined. So I have a moving playlist, which is kind of like everything for moving, or a little bit of a filter, so not everything, but a lot of the things. And then Moving Streamlined is kind of like picking and choosing from like topics what to put in there. So it's kind of more of a streamlined, don't necessarily have to watch the videos to get the takeaways kind of thing, like if I'm doing the titling and marketing, so to speak, in that sense, right? So I was like, what am I missing? And so I got one on returning to KCLS. So the King County Library System is my home library system in the United States of America. I used a different library system when I lived in South Africa, but I lived away from Washington. So I was a Seattle child, moved away to South Africa January to June 2012, and by mid-August, before the end of August, I was living in Hawaii full-time. And then 2015 moved to California, and then 2019 October, November moved back to Washington State. So 8 consecutive full-time years, like full-time away kind of thing. I lived outside of King County, Washington State, United States of America, if we look at the bulk. And so when I returned to Washington State in 2019, I was like, I need a library card. I don't know where my library card is. And so I was looking at it, and I needed my driver's license. But I had gotten a driver's license in California. So I was like, I need a Washington State driver's license. And so I was like looking at all of it, and it was around the holiday season, so stuff wasn't open. And then the COVID-19 pandemic hit. All right, we got our first case in Washington State in January, so pretty early on. And I was just like, I'm getting slammed. Right? And then the offices closed down and stuff like that. And I ended up going through and finding my previous Washington State driver's license and taking that and my California stuff to get it, my new license and stuff, and which I covered on this channel at the time, my enhanced driver's license back in 2020. And then once I got that, I had to provide the ID saying I was a resident of King County. So to get a King County library card, at least at the time when I got it back in 2020, had to have it. And it wasn't getting a card. I asked for a replacement card because my address here at my parents' house was still on a number of things, including my King County library system stuff. But I had to be able to check stuff out with my card. I'll show you the front of my card, and I give away my library number. But right, this is my library card. I had to provide proof of residency, including like either the state ID card or driver's license, a backup of a passport, and then I also, what was it, like my mailing address, like a current mailing address. So I actually had to provide, so some of that stuff I took to get my enhanced driver's license, I had to provide that to get my library card. Yeah. So it's like, pretty high security level. Okay, it's not like I can walk into some random library. I'm like, nope, there's multiple, right? There's PIN passport, there's enhanced driver's license, there's recent mail to the house, stuff like that. And so it's just like, yeah. And so I went through the online application process once I had all that, where I started it and then got all the stuff, went through it, and then went in person, and they asked for all of my documentation to verify me getting the card. So I returned to the King County Library System, but depending on where one lives, the requirements for the library system are a bit different. In Hawaii, in California, in South Africa, I did not go with the city public library system. I went with the on-campus library system because all the books I was checking out was there. That kind of thing. So I haven't had a city public library system outside of the King County library system, at least thus far in my life. I'm filming this Thursday, 21 March 2024. But on returning to it, I actually did have to go through the proving of residency again. even though it was just a replacement card. So it was interesting. I really wanted to check stuff out from the library, but I didn't have my card, and the stuff was shut down, and there were, you know, long waits, and like, well, then when do I go? And it was just, so kind of, yeah. On returning to KCLS, so on returning to the King County Library System in 2020. That's my story. Was it took a bit of time, and I was impressed in a good way on the amount of documentation required to even get a replacement card. Right? It wasn't new to the system. It was, I just needed, I lost my library card. Now provide all of this documentation. Dang. So there we go. And again, I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. It's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, and thank you for joining me.